You know what? When Conor fucks up, they give him a $100 million fight with Floyd. When Khabib fucks up, they send him out of here because he's Muslim. I don't think that's right, UFC. People, Saturday, just a few days ago, Conor McGregor fought my boy Khabib and got his shit pushed in. He got destroyed 4 rounds in a row before finally tapping out to a choke and or neck crank, depending on what you want to say. And there seems to be a lot of controversy about this because right after that fight happened, there was a riot, there was a brawl, there was a confrontation in the crowd. That morning, I put a post on Instagram to congratulate my boy Khabib on a job well done in the face of a shit talker and a cheater. And the Instagram went crazy. A lot of people seem to still be taking Conor's side, and I personally have no fucking idea how anyone could take Conor's side, having known all the facts that we now know. First off, Khabib, we should really congratulate this guy on a job well done because Conor cheated in every possible way that I could think of. He grabbed the glove. He grabbed the fence. He put his toes in the cage and tried to use that. Also cheating. He kneed a downed opponent. And there was one more. What did I miss out? Oh, and he grabbed the shorts. So that's 5 different ways that a guy cheated and still lost. Let's talk a little bit about the brawl. I was reading a lot of comments about, oh my god, he's a bitch. He didn't want to fight by himself. That's why he ran out there and he fucking brought his whole squad to fight Dylan Dennis in the crowd. He brought his whole squad. He was afraid to fight one-on-one. Speaking of bringing your squad, how many people did Conor McGregor bring in New York? It was like 15 or 20. On that note, Khabib jumped the fence by himself. His team was still in the octagon. So when Khabib did his drop kick move, which ended up, nothing really happened down there in that little skirmish. But when he did that, he did it all by his fucking self. Joe Rogan, after the fact, said, oh, and then Conor got jumped. Khabib's guys ran in and blindsided Conor McGregor. That's not what happened. If we watch the new camera angles, one of Khabib's guys jumped onto the fence, not even looking at Conor McGregor, and Conor sucker punched him while on the cage. Now, here's the thing. In the face of a fucking true badass motherfucker who doesn't give a fuck, you sucker punch somebody, his friends are gonna beat your fucking ass. They got a quick 1-2 in. Conor ended up being fine. Okay, so a lot of people were saying that Conor was this, oh, poor victim. He was just standing there minding his own business. No, Conor actually started the sequence that ended with him getting punched a couple times. Now, there's a lot of talk about Khabib should be in trouble. He should be fined. He should be jailed. He should lose his visa. Let's not forget how many times Conor has done the exact same thing and how many times he's done it worse. I already brought up New York City, where he threw the dolly and injured 2 people who weren't even involved. Speaking of sucker punch, he injured 2 people who weren't even in any way related to the battle, right? Oh, let's also not forget when he assaulted a ref at Bellator. One of his fighters won. He jumped in the cage, hugged him, and then shoved one of the refs. Oh, we let Conor get away with that. Also, the assault while he was on the cage, assaulting a guy that wasn't even looking at him. Yeah, he threw bottles, which that wasn't really that big of a deal. But the issue for me is you cannot come up with a punishment for Khabib that's worse than any punishment Conor's already gotten, because Conor's done everything that Khabib's done, and he's done it worse, and he's done it numerous different times. So you can't fucking deport this guy. Let's not forget, Conor McGregor's Irish too, right? They could have deported him for the multiple fucking assaults. They could have stripped him, right? I guess they kind of did strip him at some point. So the issue is this. I can't come up with any sort of punishment that, it really wouldn't make sense. Also, let's talk about this. Let's talk a little bit about, respect, because that's a big deal, right? Conor, I feel like, has always tried to cross the line, and I'm not saying crossing the line's a bad thing when it comes to trash talk, but here's what I've always said on the podcast. When you cross the line, don't be surprised when some shit happens. You can cross the line, and then if some shit happens, don't act surprised. Okay, that's what I'm saying. So he did cross the line, brought up some real personal shit, talked shit on his country, which that's kind of a big no-no, and also talked shit on his religion. That's a line that you probably shouldn't be crossing. And I feel like he dealt with the consequences. You know, he got choked out and then got a little shit talked to him. Big deal. Now, let's talk about Khabib jumping into the crowd. I appreciate the warrior spirit. I appreciate a guy that's not too Hollywood to roll up his fucking sleeves and beat somebody's fucking ass. Also, a lot of people are saying, well, Khabib was the first person to assault anyone. Okay, I get it. You're kind of true. Khabib assaulting Dylan in the crowd was sort of the main thing that sparked everything. I agree. But my counter argument is this. Dylan went like this and asked for it. When you ask for somebody to come fight and they jump a fence and they run over there and they fight you, you shouldn't be going, oh no, I didn't think this was really gonna happen. Oh man, I just thought I was gonna talk shit from my safe little spot outside the cage. Weird thing about cages is you can jump over them and then you can go attack whoever's talking shit. So that guy probably really wasn't prepared for that, which that's another thing. Don't do this weird shit like at the zoo. You ever see people at the zoo or people at like where they have like whales and shit? They start banging on the shit, or places where they have big gorillas. Fuck you, gorilla, eat my fucking balls. Boom, 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 boom. Hey, let's throw a rock at the lion and see what happens. Oh, he can't get me. I'm safe out here. Doesn't work like that in the fucking octagon. The guy jumped out and he fucked with you. And he fucked with you because you said this. Also, you fought a really tired guy. This guy just fought for 4 fucking rounds and still was not afraid to jump out there by his fucking self and try to beat some ass. Nothing really happened there, so everything ended up being fine. But that was 2 guys looking at each other, fighting. Now, what happened only a few seconds later? Conor hit a guy who wasn't even looking at him. You want to talk about respect? You want to talk about pride? Oh, shit. What are we doing here? R.I.P. Harambe, by the way. So, what confused me is how many people were still defending Conor on Instagram. And I'm confused because either these guys are massive fucking dick riders or maybe they're just a little bit uninformed. So let me read to you guys. First comment is from Nick Bolts from Major Crew. He says, nah, but he had his homies jump McGregor at the end like a bitch. Laughing face. Oh, like a bitch. So Khabib was a bitch because that happened. Well, here's what I wrote back. Khabib jumped into the crowd by himself. His corner was still in the ring. That is where Conor threw the first sucker punch, causing him to get jumped, because that's what happens. Who is the bitch? Also, how many homies did Conor have for the bus incident? 15? 12? Who's the bitch? Also, during the fight, who cheated? Shorts grab, fence grab, down strike, back of the head, cheated, and still couldn't win? Who's the bitch? Also, Conor talked about Khabib's dad, brother, family, religion, and got destroyed all 4 rounds, and even dropped Conor with a punch. The best boxer in MMA? LOL. So who's the bitch again? The guy defending his family, country, religion, who fought and won a clean fight, then jumped into the crowd alone after already fighting for 4 rounds? Who's the bitch? Now, I've said this the whole time. There's almost no possible way you can say anything negative about Khabib without me being able to bring up something comparable and much fucking worse about Conor. It's almost impossible to be a Conor fan after what transpired at that fight. This new comment was only left 14 minutes ago. I have not read it yet, but this is an intro into the mind of a Conor dick rider who refuses to accept reality. Let's read. But Ninja, you can't be a sore winner though. You can't be a sore winner. You guys remember when Conor jumped into the crowd and fucking started talking shit about Jose Aldo? You can't be a sore winner. That's so weird. That Khabib's a sore winner. What? He fucked up, and now he won't be getting paid shit. Also not true. Bitch or not, they attacked Conor's team too. Well, okay, let's not forget about what happened in New York, the Dolly incident, which injured 2 people completely uninvolved. Khabib's entourage and he himself fucked up. He didn't have to get involved, but he did. He could have just calmly walked off and enjoyed his win. Okay, because that's what Conor does all the time. He's never done that, ever. He could have calmly walked off, or he could defend himself, his country, his religion, his people, his fans. Then he writes, as far as cheating, people obviously cheat in every sport, so I'm not surprised it went down, but it's even funnier that he won the fight and threw it all away. So that was his defense? People cheat in every sport. Guess what? In this particular sport, it was one guy against one guy. Only one guy cheated. Only one person cheated. So although there are cheaters in every sport, how much shittier does that make your hero, Conor McGregor, look, having cheated multiple times in multiple different ways and still loses? I'm totally a Conor fan. But I refuse to sit here and blindly ignore the facts. Next comment, kind of a boring fight, sorry. I would have rather seen Jones versus Gustaf too. I wrote, yeah, drug addict steroid fights are always better. #WorldStar. Then the guy writes, at least the ones with some good stand-up action. Fuck off, Steve. Good stand-up action? There was some good stand-up action. Khabib, while standing, punched Conor, and then Conor stopped standing. He decided he didn't want that stand-up action and fell down. On top of that, what does that first M mean in MMA? I always forget. Does it stand for moxing? Is that another way to spell boxing? Boxing martial arts? Oh no, it's mixed martial arts. Which means you can win the fight in whatever way you want to. Also, there are ways to defend a lot of the shit that Khabib does. Unfortunately, Khabib's just much better than the guy who lost the fight. Kenny Throne writes, Khabib won the fight, but him and his squad ruined it all. The fight was over. Leave it at that. Khabib won. Conor may have hit a window with a dolly, but he didn't directly assault an individual from behind after a fight. He literally did all of those things. He literally did every single one of those things, and he's done it several fucking times. Literally. The word literally is being used. I don't use that word too often, but he literally did every fucking one of those things at this fight. Let me repeat that. Conor may have hit a window with a dolly, but he didn't directly assault an individual from behind after a fight, or someone who wasn't directly involved. What? When he hit the window, you know what? Maybe I'm reading this wrong. Maybe this is trolling. Did I just fall for it? Did I just feed the troll? Because when he threw the dolly, he affected two people who weren't directly involved at all. Also, after the fight, when he sucker punched the guy while they were both sitting on top of the octagon, that sucker punch to a guy who wasn't looking, who he directly assaulted directly after a fight. What? What are you guys doing? People. Really, like, Instagram, I don't want to say everyone's dumb because maybe they're just misinformed. Maybe they watched the fight and they just listened to Joe Rogan. But a day later, there's all these new camera angles where you can see what really happened. And I'm just counting down the seconds for you guys to watch this video right now and then jump on here and delete your fucking comments. Mitch the Kid. He didn't run out solo. He had his team fight McGregor when he went to fight the crowd. The way it happens with an octagon is one team's over here and one team's over here. So when the guy in the middle jumps into the crowd, these guys still have to jump over the cage, get over there, figure out what's going on, and then jump over the cage again. It's not like, okay, here's what I feel like a lot of these guys think. Power team, assemble. We all smash them together. Let's all go fight them all at once right now. That's not what happened. He jumped the fence by his fucking self. His team had no fucking idea what was going on. And the guy in the crowd that got sort of drop kicked, but actually nothing really happened, he earned that shit. You do this, you get fucked. That's what happened. Also, Conor did catch a couple of punches. You want to know why? Because he blindsided a guy that wasn't looking. You go downtown and do that shit, you're going to get fucking jumped. You walk up to a random guy and fucking punch him, there's probably going to be some people that come up behind you and fuck you up because sucker punching somebody is not going to be appreciated anywhere in the world. I guess I've pretty much said all I need to say. I do want to ask your guys' thoughts. Is there any possible way to defend Conor at all in this entire situation? I will be responding to comments on this YouTube video. I want to thank everyone on Twitch for hanging out. Don't go anywhere because I'm going to be streaming on twitch.tv/ninjalifestyle. Don't tell YouTube I'm doing that because a lot of people get kicked off YouTube when they advertise their Twitch, but it's something I like to do. It's fun. I play video games and I can talk to you guys about what's really on my mind. So let me know your thoughts in a comment below on the fight as a whole, on the fight after the fight. What do you think is going to happen next? A lot of people in my Twitch chat believe that it's going to be Ferguson versus Khabib, but there's also a lot of people out there who think Khabib's going to be stripped of his title and deported and never allowed to fight again, which I think would be kind of weird because Conor's done way worse shit and he's sitting pretty. You know what? When Conor fucks up, they give him a $100 million fight with Floyd. When Khabib fucks up, they send him out of here because he's Muslim. I don't think that's right, UFC. I don't appreciate that, not one fucking bit. So, again, I want to hear your guys' thoughts, and if you have any argument at all in Conor's defense, I would love to hear it. Kuna Matata, bitches.